Vachal madam, start.
Very good morning to all the viewers and warm welcome to the second day of National Pharmacy Week. With the same enthusiasm, we are back today for this knowledge sharing program. It gives me immense pleasure to welcome our today's renowned speaker, Dr. M.D. Salahuddin. Dr. Salahuddin has completed his B.Pharm, M.Pharm and PhD studies from VL College of Pharmacy, Raichur. He started his career as medical representative after graduation with companies like Glenmark and Bayer at Raichur. He has worked with micro labs where he has launched three new products successfully. He has also a teaching experience in various colleges like Mesco College of Pharmacy, Hyderabad, BL College of Pharmacy, Raichur, Karnataka, and Farooq College of Pharmacy, Mysuru, where he has worked as a principal at a principal post. From 2013 to 2015, he was on foreign university assignment and served as assistant professor in Libya. Dr. Salahuddin has received 40 lakhs of grant for collaborative research project from DRDO. He has 2 patents registered. He has 29 publications with 7.63 cumulative impact factor in national and international journals. He is approved guide for MPharm and PhD at Rajiv Gandhi University of Health Sciences, Bangalore. He has also chaired many sessions in conferences. His major research areas are synthetic medicinal chemistry, pyrimidines, anti-diabetic and anti-inflammatory. Presently, Sir is serving in many core areas, and to name the few are like he is working as an chairman, Board of Studies in Bangalore, academic council member in RGUHS Bangalore, as an assistant editor for RGPS Journal in Bangalore, as well as member of Board of Examining Authority in Karnataka, General Secretary in Karnataka State Pharmacy Colleges Principal Association, as an advisory board member in HEDAR Center Mysuru, as an Vice President PTA in ST Joseph School Mysuru. Sir is also actively involved in many social and community activities, like he's a chief patron in Farooq College of Pharmacy Alumni Association Mysore, president at Alumni Association of VL College of Pharmacy Raichur. He is also working as a president in KSAME Association Mysore, as a president in AMP Mysore, and a life member of APTI and IPA. So, with this great and very nice introduction, I would like to request Dr. Kale, our principal sir, to say few words about today's program. Over to you,
Thank
sir.
you. Thank you, Vaishali madam. So good morning all. Today's eminent speaker, Dr. Mohammad Salahuddin sir, Ajay, Vaishali madam, dear delegates, participants, invitees, all guests. We are very fortunate to have with us Dr. Mohammad Salahuddin for today's second webinar. Actually, it is 83rd webinar of our Kokon Gyanpit Rahul Dharkar College of Pharmacy during this entire pandemic period. And really, students, faculty members of our college, as well as those who have participated now, they are fortunate to have Dr. Mohammad Salahuddin, and he would be talking on a topic which really needs lot of applaud and lot of respect and patient hearing from each and every one, because this type of qualities, traits everyone needs. Dr. Salahuddin has a versatile experience, and he will really encourage us, motivate us, guide all of us, and you would enjoy his talk. Dr. Salahuddin is a upcoming star of our pharmacy profession, and I wish him best. Always, sir, we are with you. Anytime you call us, we will always be there. And it was really nice from your side that I just invited you, and at just one single step, you said, yes, I am giving my consent and I will be coming for this today's National Pharmacy Week webinar. Thank you, sir. Our Konkan Gyanpith Rahul Dharkar College of Pharmacy, as soon as the pandemic and lockdown was declared, we initiated lots of activities among students, amongst our faculty members. And at the beginning, we helped all the sufferers. And then we shifted to our webinar series right from May. And today, it's a 83rd webinar of this series. Students are also fortunate to have this and enjoying this lots of webinar. Actually, this type of knowledge and updates, they wouldn't have uh, if it would have been a physical college. So online also they have enjoyed. I welcome you, Dr. Mohammad Salahuddin, for this inauguration of our COVID special e-bulletin, and then you can follow with after inauguration. You can follow with your webinar, sir. Thank you, Dr. Mohammad Salahuddin.
So, Dr. Salahuddin, I will request you to please inaugurate our COVID-19 e-bulletin. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir, for inauguration, sir. Thank you, sir. Now, we will see some glimpses of our COVID-19 e-bulletin. For that, I'm going to remove each and everyone from the stream.
That
So
was
thank you,
awesome.
sir, for yeah. Thank you, sir. Thank you,
Thank you, sir.
sir. Okay, sir. So now, sir, you can proceed with your presentation, sir.
Yes, yes. Thank you, Mr. Ajay, for inviting me to this National Pharmacy Week. First of all, let me take this privilege to thank Dr. Mohan Kale sir for giving me an opportunity to be part of this National Pharmacy Week with the wonderful, one of the great, uh, excellent institution, Konkan Gnanpith Rahul Darkar College of Pharmacy and Research Institute, Karjat. It is really an honor for me to be part of such an activity and for making me part of it. Where throughout the India, I am sure large number of people have gathered here today to listen, to see what actually the leadership is and how a person can be a leader. So, Kale sir, if you permit, I'll go for presentation with your
Sure,
permission.
sir. Sure, sure. Yeah.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much. So I'll make my presentation. I'll go for slide sharing. Uh, is it okay,
Yeah, yeah. Audible.
audible?
Yes, yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So very
Okay.
good morning to all the participants, to all the students, to all the leaders who has joined in today to this National Pharmacy Week conducted by the Konkan Jnanpith Rahul Darkar College of Pharmacy and Research Institute, Garjat, in association with the Indian Pharmaceutical Association. It is indeed an honor for me to be part of such an event. This pandemic has taught us a lesson that you may be far, but definitely you are very near. This is one good thing that has happened, that technology has brought us. We haven't met in person to many of the people who have joined today online, but I must say that due to this the pandemic, we have virtually come across to each other to listen, to see that how best we can exchange the knowledge, we can learn the good things, how we can extract the best of the things from the speakers, from the leaders, and we can learn a lot. Nothing can stop. There is nothing like a boundary which can stop the individual's mind or learning skills. I am happy that today I have been invited by the Konkan Gnanpith Rahul Darkar College of Pharmacy to deliver a talk on leadership. And I believe that leadership certain something which each individual has the quality. It is nothing like that a person is born, but it is something we need to learn and we can lead the things. Today, another 1 hour, which the time is been allotted to me, which is going to make you all aware of what actually is about the leadership and how one can dream of, one can think of taking the leadership to the next step. I take this opportunity before going ahead. I would like to thank Dr. Mohan Kale sir and also the management of the Konkan Gnanpith Rahul Darkar College of Pharmacy for giving me an opportunity to be part of this wonderful session which will last for the next 1 hour. Friends, what actually the leadership is all about. I am going to cover you in this 1 hour what actually the leadership is all about. What you need to know more about the leadership. What leadership makes the difference to an organization, to an industry, to an institution that we need to know across. What actually today's my topic traits, that is qualities of leadership. If one is having the qualities, how they could able to excel to the top position. If one you are lacking behind in your qualities, how you can excel to that position by learning, by taking those skills into your stream, and you can be a leader to lead an organization, an industry, or an institution. I am going to talk some of the things which is going to be very important, some of the models of leadership which will make you aware, make you perfect, which will make you to go ahead, the types of leaders and the roles, how they can play wonderful, and what deficiencies if a person is having, if a person is lacking behind some qualities, how they can overcome to that. I am going to talk about that. The leader and leadership, some of the most important things, how a leader can have a leadership role model to be as a leader. Some of the leaders I am going to show, and some of the leaders who has dared to lead, they have come across with irrespective of their religion, irrespective of their caste, irrespective of their region, they have come across to lead. They are the world leaders, they are the country leaders. I am going to talk about them. Let me tell now. Well, I have chosen this topic when Dr. Mohan Kale sir told me, can you talk on leadership? Yes, I said I want to, because I believe each and every individual of this organization, of any organization, not just my organization, or whether it is organization of the Mohan Kale sirs, any organization, a leadership plays a very important role. If an organization, an institution, an industry, a country, if they are doing the best, it is first the leader, then the team, that makes a lot of difference. So I said I would like to talk about the qualities of the leadership. And I want to tell that how a confidence, a dareness is required to take a lead. And that's what today I'll be speaking. I just want to quote over here few of the things of a great sayings. A leader, who is the one? A leader who articulates and embodies a vision and goal and enables others to share and achieve them. Definitely, a leader can't be just on his own. He is the one who is the companion. He is the one who is the team who makes others to lead. I've showed one of the visual over here that what actually the leader is. A one who leads, who directs, who takes the risks, and he shows the ways that one team which has to get to success. It all depends upon a vision of a leader, a goal of a leader. That is what one has to articulate when you are working for an organization, when you are working for any institution or a country. You need to have a vision to which line, to which level you want to take to that organization. You need to have a goal or a time period what you wanted to do. That is where the leader counts. Leadership is a state of mind. Leadership is all about the vision, spirit, and character, getting diverse individuals to work together as a team. As I said, a leader is the one who can make a team to work, who can understand the issues related to its team, who can understand the issues related to its organization of its country. Here, main important is that a leader has to always look at how a team can perform, how he can take a team to a newer direction, how he can make them to perform. That makes a lot of difference. Some of the few of the sayings of Professor Warren Bennis says leadership is a function of knowing yourself, having a vision that is well communicated, building trust amongst your colleagues, and taking effective action to realize your own leadership potential. Here it becomes very important to know that a leader needs to have a vision that is well communicated. Here matters what? That how a skill can be adapted by a leader, which can take a communication, which is one of the major strength to have a leader. Building trust amongst the colleagues. That's where he can take the team to the next direction. If he doesn't have the trust amongst his own colleagues, who doesn't feel that this person cannot take us to the next level of the growth, then I don't think he can be a leader. You need to have that vision of the growth of an organization, take it to the next level, and taking effective action to realize your own leadership potential. That is what Professor Warren Bennis has said. Leaders establish the vision for the future and set the strategy for getting there. They motivate and inspire others to go in the right direction. That is what the team I have said. They motivate the team, they motivate the fellow colleagues, how they can be in the right direction for the growth of an organization, of an institution, or of a country. It makes a lot of difference. Leadership is about developing leaders, not the followers. They are very much important. How you make the others to grow, how you make others to become, the leader There, the leadership qualities are important. Leader is the one who makes others to grow. Leader is the one who makes others to take to the next level. And that is where a leader is the one who makes others also to become the leader. He doesn't suppresses the others. And that's where important about the leadership. And he doesn't create the followers. Some of the people, if you have seen leaders, they try to create the followers rather than creating them or a way to become the leader. So hence, one of the quality of a leader is that if one has to grow, he should think that he should also make others to grow. He should also make the way for others to grow and they become the leaders. Leadership is about creating a legacy, one that will propel the organization to new levels of success, even when the leader has moved on. That is where, even in the absence of a leadership, if a leader doesn't present during the time, even in his absence, the institution should keep on performing, should keep on grow. It doesn't happen that sometimes we have seen a person who was a leader and he leaves the organization and the entire organization activity comes down. That is where the failure of an individual, it is not called the leadership. Leadership is the one where even in his absence, the way he works, in his absence also, the growth of the organization continues because he has created his own subordinates as the leaders to take in his position, in his absentia. So leader is the one, even in his absence, should see that the organization reach to the next new levels of the activity. Leadership is all about motivation, the willingness to exert high level of effort to reach the next organization goals. That is how we have to think about if we want to be a leader, we need to have an activity of making belief to ourselves is that first we should be confident enough. Second thing, we should have a zeal to talk about motivation, whether to a student, whether to a colleagues or to subordinate or to your friend. You always need to have a motivation. You should always have a willingness to exert high level of effort to reach the organizational goals. Let me talk about some of the good qualities what a leader needs to have. That's where I told traits of a good leader, qualities of a good leader, inspiration. This is one of the most important point to be noted by a leader is that he should inspire. He should always take a lead. He should always take a zeal. See, when the organization, when this lockdown has occurred, we all have seen that there was a negativity everywhere. Everyone has thought that the world is over. It was the leaders who inspired to lead. It was the leaders who took us all into the next level of activity. It was the leaders who made us all to think that yes, still there is a hope. We all need to do a lot of work in order to come out of it. If you see the countries which has done the best to come out of this pandemic, it is all because of the leadership. They have inspired others to do that, how we can help it out to each other. If you see during this lockdown period, more than us, we looking for us, we were working for survival of the others. People have come out with food, people have come out with services, whatever they have. They started donating to it. It is something inspiration which is done by the leadership. That is how the country's leadership has inspired. And I feel that that inspiration everyone should bring up, instill into the others that how best they can perform and grow, especially is during the students. I'm sure the large number of the attendees are the students, and they have to always remember that it is the inspiration that makes the difference. Never ever go into the negativities that you can do in a short way and you can come out of it. Great leaders always takes the inspiration. Yes, I have to perform and I have to grow. This needs to be inculcated. This needs to carry on. Communication is one of the major strength of a leader. If you are a good having the good communication skill, definitely I think that you are a good. You see the best leaders in the world, they are the best orators. When I tell about the communication, it is not only about the communication, the way you do through your oral way. It is also about the way the how you act, how you communicate. It transpires down the line to your colleagues, to your students, to your fellow friends. That makes all the difference. So communication is one part. If communication is not there, very important role. And I feel that honesty plays a very important role. Dedicated to his work, to his activity to which he takes up the responsibility. And that is where it becomes very important. Today, if a webinar is happening, it is all about the some commitment taken up by the leadership of the organization of the Konkan Gnanpith. They have come out is that yes, we have the National Pharmacy Week and we have to carry out the activity. Even Mohan Kale sir would have taken the rest at home. He would have thought that okay, something goes on, let academic activities happen. But still, if the pain is being taken by the organization, it means that there is an honesty towards the profession, there is an honesty towards the organization, there is an honesty towards the professional growth. That is how the leaders works. Dependable. That is how you as a leader, you have to become a quality in such a way that you should be a dependable. We always know that in cricket, when we talk about the cricket, the dependable was Rahul Dravid for our country, isn't it? We were having a trust that when he comes, definitely, even if 4 or 5 wickets falls down, the moment he used to come, he used to make a defend. And that is how we had a very striking great player, Sachin Tendulkar, dependable. We were sure that definitely this fellow in every inning scores 50 runs. That's how the Indian score crosses 250, 300 runs, and we reach to the winning target. These dependable things has to be there in a leadership quality. A leadership, when something goes wrong, should be confidence of the organizational heads, wherein he should carry the responsibility and he should finish it off to the best of the way. Confidence, he should have the confidence. As I said, without the confidence you can't do. And to have the confidence, a leader always should take some risk. He should always be some way of going ahead. He without his confidence level taking to the next activity, it is not possible at all to carry out any of the responsibilities of an organization. He should be strong with willpower. That is where it has been said a leader is the one who takes the risk. That is his confidence. Your confidence has to be strong enough if you want to be a good leader, and that is one of the quality of a good leader. Courage. You need to be dare enough to take the responsibilities, to take the challenges, and that is how a leader will have it. He will be courageous, he will be challenging, he will be responsible to take the risks, and he will be taking to the organization with his bold decisions to the next level. And anyone who takes the decision, if we talk about our country leadership, the courage it is. If you see, Prime Minister Narendra Modi has the courage to go for demonetization. He knows that there is a risk of countries having problem when it goes for demonetization, but he has the courage to take that decision. So a leader should have that much of courage to take the organization or the country to the next level of activity. Knowledge, it becomes very important. The leader should have the knowledge in the field of which he is responsible or is heading to the organization. If you are a leader in an industry, you need to have the entire activity of A to Z of the activities of the organization. Then only your leadership will be strong enough. You need to know the basic problem of every nuke and end of the institution or the industry to which you are heading. You should know each of the smallest problem. Because of that, you need to have the knowledge. So a leader will have the courage, the knowledge. It makes a good leader for him. Now let me give some of the strengths, the qualities which again the leader need to have. The leader should have this drive. I have given the synonymous some of the leadership images which should inspire to us. But majorly, if you see it, leadership exhibit a high effort level. He should have a relatively high desire for achievement. If we see the Mahatma Gandhi, his desire was to see the free movement, free country, show the initiative and they are persistent in their perspectives. Leaders have a strong desire to influence and lead others. As I have told you in one of the quote, leaders are the one who takes the organization to the next level only possible if they help their own subordinates to grow. They help their own subordinates to reach to the next level of the growth. A lecturer can become professor with the help of this professor, with the help of the leaders. An organization in an organization wherein if you see where if you ask me in the field of the pharmacy, a production chemist can be a general manager. It is possible only if the highest level of the leadership helps them to grow, to act, to play a role, to participate in every activity and help them to grow with the better perks. And it is only possible if the leaders, if the man during this lockdown period, all those organizations managements who are helping it out. I must salute to them. I must tell that they are the great leaders. One such was the great leader was our late President Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam, the missile man. We need to have the integrity, the national leader, the leaders should have the integrity to build a trusting relationship between themselves and the followers. If they have, by trusting, by truthful, and by showing consistency between word and the deed, the most important of a leadership is that integrity. Whatever he says, he should have a dependency. He should have the trust among himself that yeah, I have trusted this and I should carry out. When you promise something to down the line or to the organizational heads, a leader will always remain to his tongue. Yes, I promise this. That is where the integrity is all about the leaders trusting relationship between themselves and the followers. The trust that has to be maintained, the trust has to be there with the leader. A self confidence, I have told you, a confidence is the one thing which is very important. Leadership mainly depends on the intelligence and the self confidence. Leaders will be decisive and strong in their will and take decisions as per the beneficial needs in the larger interest. That is how you don't think about yourself. You don't think about only the down the line people. Yes, I should benefit only to this. You will think that like if a person is heading to an organization, he will see that how it should benefit to the organization, and through the organization how it should benefit to the society or to the country. That is where the leadership is all about self confidence, intelligence. They will be clever and smart. Those are the leaders in their decisions. They will be very clever when they decide it. You need to inculcate those qualities and act fast and take the situation favorable. That makes very important. And some of the the leaders who has taken such type of decisions have made their images as illustrative so that it becomes very important. And we have another one leader on this platform, Dr. Mohan Kale. I'm so happy and glad that I'm participating to this forum. And this is the 83rd webinar. That is how the effective knowledge utilizing by the leaders, decising. If you ask me all the points and whatever I have told, self-confidence, communication skills, intelligence, dare to take the decision, all that has Dr. Mohan Kale, an effective leader having the high degree of knowledge about his own institution, about the profession, about the organization, to what level he wanted to take. That is where the effective leadership counts, and that is one of the quality of these leaders. Now, I'll be talking about some of the contingency model of leadership, and majorly, I'll be talking about the contingencies. Though I have given the chart wherein the leader will have a behavior like directive, supportive, participative, achievement oriented. These are some of the behavior of the contingency model of leadership. It also has the environmental contingency factor like task factor, formal authority system, work group, and outcomes and employee contingency factor like locus of control, experience, and perceived ability, and the outcomes is performance and satisfaction. I'll not be discussing all this in detail. I'll be talking about some of the very important about the behavior of the leadership because I'm more concerned about it so that individual can inculcate to these qualities and can even become a leader. And some of the leadership qualities it is where in the contingency model. In the contingency model, it is directive leaders. These leaders lead to greater satisfaction when tasks are ambiguous and stressful than when they are highly structured and well laid out. They are very, working to the greater satisfaction. If you see many of the organizations where the leadership is working more than 20, 25 years, it is because they are leading to the greater satisfaction and attending to each and every task and making the organization to grow. And such leaders will have all those qualities, and that is where we have to learn to inculcate from such type of people the qualities in order to grow. And these directive leaders will lead to higher employee satisfaction when there is a substantial conflict within the work group. If you see it, when there are organization industries where there are a lot of uh, disaffiliation, or there is a problem of going ahead disturbances, it is the leaders which tries to solve it. And here the directive leaders plays a very important role to bring up the higher employee satisfaction and bring up a workforce to work as a team, will satisfy to the employees with an external locus of control. That is how sometimes you may not be physically present. A great leader will try to work even if he's in his absence. His leadership plays a very important role, and that is how very important it is, and are likely to pursue as redundant among employees with high pursuit ability or with considerable experience. This plays a very important role wherein the directive leaders has the employee satisfaction and performance to the higher needs of the organization. And if you see the supportive leaders, the directive leaders I have told, now about the supportive leaders. These are all some of the qualities of the leadership, wherein they place a very, are the models of certain leadership qualities to which it enhances to dare to lead. Supportive leaders, they creates the high employee performance and satisfaction when employees are performing structured tasks, when they are having a different task. If you see in an organization, a different departments will be there. If you see in our pharmacy itself, we are having industry quality control, production, the research, okay, the pharmacological department, the quality assurance department. If you see the great leaders, they will have the knowledge of all the departments. Wherein, if you see some of the students, we are having the expertise only in certain departments, but the great leaders will have the knowledge about the employees' performance satisfaction, leading from every department's knowledge and try to perform to growth and to employee satisfaction. And these supportive leaders are needed when formal authority relationships are clear and bureaucratic. Yes, absolutely. They need to play a great role. They need to have an representative for employees, for bureaucratic, for the organization heads, management. They play a bridge role in order to bring up the best performance of the organization as a great leader. Participative leaders will satisfy employees with internal locus of control, those who believe they can control their own destiny. There is a self satisfaction, there is a self zeal of enthusiasm and confidence that plays a very important role. And these participative leaders plays a very important role in bringing up the next activity. Achievement oriented leaders will increase employees' expectancies that effort will lead to high performance when tasks ambiguously structured. These are the people who takes up all the employees into confidence, all the students or all the organizational departments, and bring up in to perform to the next level of the high activity. Even if you see most of the country leaders, some of the leaders to which I am going to show, they are being since long period, they are the leaders, they are the country presidents or prime ministers. It is because their performance is very high. They lead to high performance. Countries' economic growth depends upon the leadership. That is how those countries, if you see it, particularly the Gulf region, if you see, since long time, almost 30, 40 years, they are having problem to their citizens that helps growth it is because employees are looking for people with good leadership skills. If you ask me, there is a big requirement, there is a lot of opportunity for good leaders. There are leaders who are heading to the organization. There are leaders who are heading to the industries, but there is a lacking behind amongst those the skills. It is nothing like that. Nobody can lead. If somebody has the zeal, confidence, desire to take, what is most important is that one needs to take the courageous step to come forward and take the activity to the next level. So, what is most important is that the employees are looking for people with leadership skills and leaders to have that leads to more job opportunities and advancement. Means there are a lot of opportunities available for the leadership, and these leadership positions are available, and I must say that people lacking behind in any of the qualities should come out, learn, take the benefit of it and acquire to the position. How it is going to be helpful in the personal life? The leadership promotes the self confidence, self fulfillment, and the self worth. Definitely, when you take the leadership, you will develop a confidence among yourself. You will feel a self fulfillment, a desire, a, the satisfaction. Yeah, I am doing it. I have a responsibility. When you achieve it to certain level of activity, the satisfaction will be to fullest extent, and the self worth. Even the personal life is going to be worth to have a satisfactory life. Now, we leader as a vision creator, how it can be. A leader can have a vision. He needs to have set the goals, and he should develop the action plan and monitor the action plan of that execution. If you want to be a leader, you need to have a vision creator. Your vision should be in 4 steps. One is to create your own vision. First, in what way you want to go. Set the goals to which level you want to go. So let us say in an industry or you want to start your own organization. The most important part that plays important is that you need to have the vision that in what type of the organization you want to have and to what level you want to take it to its performance. Setting the goals, developing the action plan, maybe a 5 years action plan or 10 years action plan. You need to plan up and then monitor the execution of it to the satisfaction, its performance. That becomes very important. And if you see that creating vision, analysis of external opportunities and threats. When you are a leader, you should know what are the strengths you have and what are the problems you have. You need to see that how you can take the opportunity. If you see most of the leaders who has succeeded during this lockdown period, it is because they were positive enough to take the opportunities of the lockdown. They didn't sat, they didn't thought that okay, lockdown is there, I should sit at home, let me switch off my mobile and just enjoy at home. Great leaders have taken this as opportunity. One such leader, Mohan Kale sir. 83 lectures have been conducted, webinars. That means we took this lockdown as an opportunity. And the problems is that threat is always there. Threat is that. But he has taken the opportunity and he has tried to see that he has created a vision of his own institution. Analysis of internal capabilities and areas for improvement. A leader, when he is creating a vision, he should know that what is his own inner strength. Okay, I have got so and so resources, and here are the areas which I need to improve in order to perform to the best. That is where the great leaders create the vision. Setting goals. In what way you need to set the goal? The purpose of setting goals is to convert managerial statements of team vision into the specific performance targets. Whatever you have got the goals, converting it as a leader, as a principal, I've got my own goals, but I have to take these the responsibilities that whatever my management desires, I have to take it that into the vision and I have to perform and bring up the targets. Targets of an educational institution will be measured about its strength, about its results, how best the results can be brought out, the performance of the students, how it can be brought out. It is all depending upon the team's performance, a good teaching faculty. That is how a leader needs to create. Setting objectives and then measuring which can be achieved. That is where you have to create your own goal and then you need to achieve it, which is going to be. A leader needs to develop an action plan when you have a goal. An action plan means accomplishing objectives. It should not be like that, okay, I want to do something like this, and over a period of time you forget it. You need to have it, whether you want to achieve in 3 months, 6 months, 2 years, or 5 years. You need to have the action plan, target to action plan. Yes, within this period, I need to achieve it. Whether whatever it may be, the organization performance or it may be a country's growth, you need to have an action plan. Our country plans every time, industry plans every time. Like my export is now for about 1 billion. Now I have to plan for 5 billions. That is where you need to take up. To plan those actions, to bring up those into the reality, you need to have an action plan, and that action plan must be concrete and it should be measurable. It should be within your strengths. You need to know the strengths, what is you are having, the inner organization strength, and what benefits, external benefits you are having, how you can take it. These things you need to take up into your action plan. And monitoring the action plan execution, it is very much important. As I told you, if you are planning to execute it for 3 months, 6 months, or for 5 years, you need to monitor. The final step is to follow up and check that if your team is doing what is required. If you are not able to execute it, I'm sorry, you are a failure in your leadership. So a great leaders are the one who is going to have the vision, who is going to set a goal, who is to develop the action plan and execute that action plan to see that he achieves it to the best. And that is where you need to plan up. And what is most important about the great leadership is that what you need to do is as a leader, you need to be loyal to your team member. Character or anybody who is leading it, you are the voice of your team. Your team is not going to talk to the management. Your team is going to tell any of the problem they are facing it to you, and it is you who is going to take up those problems to solve it at the managerial level, so that the team gets their benefits, gets their targets achieved, gets their emoluments fulfillment, and that is where you become the voice. And the great team has the great leader who is going to be the voice of their team. Share the credit with your team for its achievements and ensure that those above you know about their successes. It is very much important. Whenever a team gets its success, it happens that some of the leaders takes the advantage and takes the entire credit to it. Great team leaders are always giving the credit of the success of their credit to their team, and that is where they become the great leaders. If you see it, many of the leaders who are being called as great, they always have a great team, and their team is the one who is going to be always performing to their leader's voice. It is because the leader always tries to give the entire credit to its team. Don't publicly point a finger when something goes wrong. This is one of the major important is that try to always avoid talking to your colleagues in a very louder way in the public or in front of others. You have any issues, great leaders always tries to see that the problem being associated with their subordinates or the employees are being solved without knowing to their team members. That is where it is very important. So try to be very polite in taking the, attending to the problems being associated with the colleagues, and care your employees. Be a positive, encouraging force. As I have always been telling, you are the major encouraging force. You are the major leader who always a good team will always be dependent on a leader. If a leader says no, we are not going to do this work, they will not do it. When a leader says that we are going to do this, the army, if you see, a great leader is the one who takes the responsibility, who directs the people. Sometimes even if they are losing the life, they follow to the leader, because it is the leader who thinks in the interest of the organization or the country. That is where a great leader comes. Then what actually a recipe for being a good leader is all about? Life. He is the one who is going to be completely in control. Whatever he takes the whatever his decisions it may be. Yes, I am going to invest this much of money on behalf of the organization, for the organization. I know there is a risk, but I am confident enough that a profit is going to come back to the organization. That is how the great leader is. Assume responsibility for who you are. You are required to take the responsibility that yes, I am a leader. I have to take the responsibility for whatever it may be. For the success, I have to give it to my colleagues. And if it is a failure, I am the responsible. That is the great leader is all about. Convey a positive and dynamic attitude in everything you do. When you take a lead, your dynamism, your positive approach always makes the team people to think that yes, our leader is going with a positive way. Even if there is a failure in that, we don't have to bother. We are definitely going to get success to it. That is where. So we need to be strong enough thereby to show the dynamism that makes the team to go ahead. Accept the blame, as I have told you. Learn from your mistakes as well as those of others. Take blame for everything that happens in your life. If there is any failure in your activity, accept that that failure is because of you. And if there is any success, give the entire credit to your team. This is one of the major quality of a team leader. Never ever blame to your team members that the failure is because of you. Failure is because you didn't do it. It is the decision of the leader that takes to the success or to the failure. But however, if there is a success, give the entire credit to your team. If there is a failure, you accept it. It has happened because of my leadership, my decision, which has taken us to the failure. Give credit wherever it is due. Give it to the team. Give it to the team members. Make them to realize that it is they who are the best one. And it is because of them the team has got the success. It is not because of leadership. You have to think, though it is because of leadership, but you have to tell that it is because of the team we got the success. Be compassionate when you review your team members' progress or lack thereof. You have to be very, very calculative. You have to be very, very inclined to your team members to see that if they are having any of the deficiencies, tell them you are facing this, and try to tell them that you improve in this area and you are going to have the best progress. And that is how a great team works. And these are some of the great leaders having it, and we need to have these things. Think great thoughts. Small thinking is why companies go great. That is where we have to. We need to have broader thinking. We need to be in broader aspects. We shouldn't be narrow enough in our planning, in our goals, in our vision. You need to be broad enough. Think about it. Whatever it may be, sometimes you should be brave and great. Turn disasters into opportunities. As I have told you, great leaders has taken these disasters. Some of the great leaders, if you see, Reliance Industries, which is now growing at the rate of 300% or more, which has done a business of 20,000 plus of crores. Lockdown period, when the companies are suffering a huge loss, and they have taken every obstacle into the actually is real. We will come across when we are targeting certain things, when we wanted to take to the organization. We'll have so many issues. Try to see that how. The best example of the target that a leader can take is that when when Acharya Dronacharya has said to Arjun that what you are seeing when you are, in the on the tree, when he has been asked to hit to that parrot, he said that I'm seeing the eye of the parrot. You should be very targeted. You need to be very focused that real goals, what actually, you shouldn't get distracted with the problems being associated in and around. When you want to tell someone something important, do it personally. Do it personally. Never ever depend on from the subordinates. When you have some communication, try to do it. That is how the great leadership. You will have less of the middle people for communication. That is the great communication is that one. Immediately try to attend to any of the activity. Communication becomes very important. Until something important is there, means take responsibility and communicate it. Don't be afraid to get your hands dirty doing what you ask others to do. Simple thing, a great leader is the one who doesn't see that. We have seen Ratan Tata in many of the WhatsApp images it has come that he is sitting during a convocation ceremony. During his convocation ceremony, he is sitting on the ground and all the other students are sitting on the chairs. That is a great leader. That is how we have to inculcate. If you want to be a great leader, you need not worry about that your clothes get dirty or your hands get dirty. If time permits, opportunity permits. Make coffee even for your friends. Make coffee or help it out in getting them some of the work done. Say some letter is to be typed, help it out. Sometimes your employee type it and give it. Yes, I have drafted this. You just take a print and get it. That is how the great leaders is. Even the smallest work they do it, even in the bigger positions. That is the quality of the great leader. And the most important of the great leader is that they need to have the patience. They need to have the patience. That is where the great leader is called. Listen effectively. You need to have patience. If somebody comes with a problem, you need to have a patience to listen, to understand what actually they are communicating it, and try to attend to the problem. So a great leader is always a good listener, always having the patience. So these are some of the qualities. Encourage teamwork and participation. Always try to see that when you are assigning the activity, have a team. Do not keep everything to your level. Okay, I will be sitting in the front, I will be leading everywhere, my name should come, and my team members should not be highlighted. Absolutely, it is wrong. Encourage teamwork and participation. Bring up whenever it is required. You are not doing it, please go. You represent me on behalf of our team. Sometimes this becomes very important for a good teamwork and to develop the other leaders. Empower team members. That is what I said. Empower them. Give them the roles. Yes, I am not there. I am authorizing you. You take lead. Try to represent. Today, so and so meeting is there. I may not attend. You attend. You represent me. You represent our organization. That is where the team grows because you are creating the next line of leaders. Communicate effectively. This becomes very important. When you are having the communication, it is going to be very important. Emphasize long-term productivity. Never ever have the short plan. Have long plans. So great leaders always think about how important it is, how an organization can grow. You need to have a long plans. Yes, I have to do in these 2 to 3 years so that organization will develop or reach to the next level of the top 10, 20 organization in the level of top 10 or 20 because of our performance, and then we can reach it. That is how the competition is. If you see, the government of India started ranking, giving the ranking to the even to the institutions and the universities. And if over the last 5 years NIRF ranking, I'm happy to see that many of the pharmacy institutions are performing excellent, and many of the top universities are maintaining their level. That is how it is all about the long-term activity. Make sound and timely decisions. This is very important. Sometimes any problem comes, do not keep it aside. A great leader is the one who immediately attends to it and try to solve it. Timely action is very important. Treat each person as an individual. There is no favorism. When you are a leader, for you, all your subordinates are equal, including yourself. You, as a leader, also are same amongst the same employees. There cannot be a rule separate for you and other rule for the different subordinates. As a leader, you need to have equal role for every individual and the rule for every individual. Know yourself and team. Definitely, when you are knowing it, what are the strengths of each team member, you should know it. Who is capable enough to do A work and who is capable enough to do Z work. That is where a great team plays a very important role. And protect your team. Whenever you are talking, you should talk about your organization. You should talk about your team members. Never ever highlight, okay, I am the head of the organization. Increase only my salary. Don't increase for my subordinates. Absolutely wrong. When you are a team, talk about everything about your team members. Talk everything about your organization. Take the lead, and you are the great going to be a representative. And how leaders are going to be different enough. One image which I have shown, why we call lion as the Badeshah or the Raja of the jungle, because it has a different capacity to lead. Why all the even the elephant fears to the lion or to the tiger? Because their body language is going to be different enough. When they walk, this shows the way. You stand and sit, that plays a very important role. Great leaders always have a different body language. Their presentation is going to be different enough. And that is how I told you. Leader cannot be only just by sitting on the chair. Leader needs to have in every activity the way you dress. creates the importance. The way you write, the way you talk, the way you walk, the way you see, it all has the importance, and the great leaders has needs to have these qualities in order to grow. And I am sure all those who are listening will try to see that each one of you try to develop it. Many of the people are going to have this, but proper presentation makes them a great leaders. That is what I have to show. The great leaders, how they are different. You are in control of your environment. You can make every setback an opportunity for success. I have told you already, but you should be in a strength, in a control, in order to take the challenge. You can be anything, but you can be. That means you have to see that it is you who are going to perform. It is you who are going to the next level. Do not be dependent. Sometimes we forget our inner strengths, our own strengths, and we look into the others and try to see that I don't have those things, and we don't perform it. Every individual has its own potentiality. That is what I want to tell you. You can be anything. You can be. You have your own strength to take into the next activity. So I want to say that you need to carry out. You can become the person you want to be, dress like that person, talk like that person. Sometimes we need to learn. If I find that somebody is writing good font in a writing, I try to copy it because that makes an impact in your handwriting, and that plays also important role. Even you know that the great leaders has the great handwriting. So graphology says that how you see. Now, are you a visioner or you are a fast looking active leader? So great leaders always has a vision, and they will always have a different way of the talking, seeing, wearing dress. Okay, every activity has important for a leader. So a leader is someone who demonstrates what is possible. This is very important. You are the one who directly leads, who takes up and who talks. You directly stand in front and says that yes, we need to do. You will demonstrate. Sometimes you have to do some work. You will show it. Do it like this. Never ever direct and sit back. A great leader is the one who demonstrates what is possible. And some of the great leaders who has dared enough to lead, and one such is the Mahatma Gandhi ji, the father of our nation, a man who has everything. But one of the image I have shown, you can see it. He is just with a dhoti and walking barefoot, and he is the one who got the democracy to our country. What a strength he has. What actually made him to become the Mahatma? Why we are calling him Mahatma? Why we call him father of the nation? Because he has got the confidence. He has got that dareness that even without the weapons, I can make the country, I can get the country freedom. And you know that the Britishers who ruled for more than 200 years has to leave our country and go back. It is all because the Satyagraha that he took as a challenge. Barefootly, he used to walk miles of the kilometers of the distance in the country to spread that unity is the strength of the country, and that has brought the democracy to our country. It is because of his dareness to lead. That is because of his dareness. That is what we need to have, that dareness. We need to feel it. He could have had a very good graduation, and he could have served into the British era, and he could have had a lavish life, but he has chosen to be the leader. He has taken that lead, and that is how he has become the Mahatma. How many of us can remember the people who have served in the era during the Britishers, in the office of the Britishers? They had the same capacity. They became they were the colleagues of the Mahatma in the when he was studying the law, but they couldn't be remembered by the countries. Okay, because they didn't had the dareness to lead, and what Mahatma Gandhi had. Yes, the Prime Minister of a country, he has the dareness, and that is how, after serving so many years as the Chief Minister of the Gujarat, he took a lead, he took a dareness that yes, I can take the leadership of the country, and he made all the efforts, he made all the the strengths he has brought out. How can people think that a tea seller can be the Prime Minister of the country? It is because fairness is needed. That means he has shown that even if you are poorest of the poor, you need to dream of to be a leader. That is how his life is one of the example for each one of us to see that even if you are lacking behind in your, the potentiality of the financial potentiality, it doesn't stop you from becoming the leader. What is most important is that the daringness, the confidence, and the the zeal and enthusiasm to lead the country's potentiality. And that is how the most, the longest serving individual, the human being or the citizen of our country is Shri Narendra Modi ji. And we have to learn from such type of leaders. Yes, Nelson Mandela, who has been in the prison for more than 27 years, but still being in the prison, he never lost his leadership. He was daring to the appetite that to the country's people of the South Africa that he can protect to his black people. And the moment he was released from the jail, he became the president of South Africa. What made him? What made him being 27 years in the jail? How can a person become the president of the country? It is all because he has that inner strength. He has got that zeal, enthusiasm, and he dared to lead the country. And that's how he became the first black president of South Africa, and he created the history. These are certain things which will definitely bring up the goosebumps for all of us to read the history of such type of leaders. Malala Yousafzai, what made this girl to fight with the terrorists to protect the rights of the girls born in a Pashtun place of Pakistan when they were stopping it to the girls from going to the education. This lady has dared enough to them. Yes, I will stop you people. On the other side, there were weapons, and she is without the weapons. She, now uh, the Nobel Prize winner, a lady leading to the world in the different direction, making all the women to see that every fight is possible, and the women can be brought to the just, women can be given the justice, and the education can be a very important weapon in the growth of the society. And that is how this lady has taught us, and she has dared against these terrorists to lead, and that dareness we need to learn. Vladimir Putin, the president of Russia, see the strength of the individual. Almost it is 21 years. Nobody can think about his, to topple him. He is single-handedly taking the country to the next level. Imagine, before that Soviet Union was there. I remember during my school days, there was a lot of disturbance in the country, and thereafter, the moment he became twice the prime minister and almost three times as the president, still growing stronger. Why? Because of his dareness, because of his inner strength, because of his country's understanding, knowledge about what is required to be done. He took up the leadership to the next level. We need to learn from such type of leader. Yes, our own pharma profession leader, Dr. Suresh Ojral. Salute to him, four-time president of the Pharmacy Council of India. How? It is all about his daringness. Many of you people don't know from how simple way he could become the leader of our profession. It is because of his confidence, because of his inner strength, because of understanding to take zeal, enthusiasm to make our profession bring up to the next level of activity. His inner strength, his energy level is so high that even I'm so young compared to him, I cannot match to his inner energy. That shows how a leader has to be. If you sit with him for 1 hour, he goosebumps will come up. The way he talks, he energizes to all of us. Such type of leader is need to be. We have to learn, see them, and learn, and try at least inculcate at least 5 to 10% to make ourselves available to grow our profession. Salute to such leadership. Dr. T.V. Narayana, the president of the Indian Pharmaceutical Association. He says always he was a lecturer in a pharmacy college, and the way he has grown himself to the next level of the leadership, and it makes us to believe that every teacher who is now listening should read the profile of such leaders. It is every possibility is there that you can be a leader into an organization, into a association, into a country. It is everything is possible. Try to take up these leadership are certain skills which we need to learn. Yes, I had told already Mukesh Ambani, you know, his father has given him maybe about what now the worth of the asset what his organization is having. He has doubled it. He is the top 10 amongst the top 10 richest person in the country. Almost over the last 10 years, he is almost in top 10. The company has progressed to the thousand times. The turnover has grown into billions of dollars. How it is possible? It is all because of great leadership. We need to inculcate. The most important thing is that the simplicity how you live and the understanding to the issues to which you work. It becomes very important. So some of these great leaders plays a very important role, and that helps us also to dare to lead an organization or an association or a institution. And the most important, I'm hereby here coming to the end of my lecture. The true test of leadership is how well you function in a crisis. Yes, if there is any crisis in an organization, how you are working, how you are trying to see that the organization is also growing during that crisis. Even your team also survives to the crisis effect. We see that during this lockdown period, if the many of the organizations are not paying salaries to their employees, many of the the institutions are not paying salaries to their employees, it is, I feel, there is a failure of leadership in that. And these leaders should see that in this crisis, how they can pass on the benefit to their team members, to their employees, it becomes very important. And true leaders don't create followers, they create more leaders. Absolutely. The true leaders are the ones who always try to create the leaders of the next line, of the next level, so that the organization keeps growing without any hindrance. I quote Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam: dream is not what you see in sleep, it's the thing which doesn't let you sleep. Yes, a great leader doesn't sleep until you fulfill it. That is how we had a great leader, Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam. Salute to such a great leader. We are blessed to be in his era and to see his leadership and his, the true patriotic. With this, I conclude. It's a great honor. Thank you so much, Dr. Mohan Kale sir, for giving me an opportunity. I thank to Konkan Gyanpit, Rahul Dharkar College of Pharmacy and Research Institute, Kachat, for making me part of it, and also Indian Pharmaceutical Association, the sponsor of this the Pharmacy Week celebration. I am grateful, honored to be part of it. Thank you so much. Jai Hind. Over to you, sir.
Vaishal madam?
Yes, Ajay.
Yes. On behalf
Yeah.
of KGRDCP and RI Karzat College of Pharmacy, I would like to thank our today's eminent speaker, Dr. Salahuddin, for today's wonderful guidance on leadership topic. Dear viewers, as we are aware that leadership is not only position but action of the leader, and it is very important, sir, that you very well said that the leader articulates and embodies a vision and goal. Sir has very well explained the traits of leadership like communication, inspiration, knowledge, honesty, confidence, and courage. And we can never deny that our country today is developed till now and is developing under the able guidance of various leaders. Thank you, Dr. Salahuddin, sir, for giving such a brilliant insights on leadership and sparing your precious time for all of us. And Dr. Salahuddin, sir, even you very well said one thing that Dr. Mohan Kale, our principal, is excellent leader of our college, and our college is really developing and flourishing under his able guidance. We are really very fortunate to have such a good principal and also a good management. Thank you, Kali sir and management, for your continuous support. Very important. Thank you, Kharche sir, for technical support, and a very big thank you to all the participants to make this program successful. Thank you all. Stay safe and please all take care.
Thank
Thank
you,
you,
Dr.
sir.
Salahuddin. It was excellent talk, really motivating, encouraging, and all were at the stake. And your voice and your that clarity of talk, depth of knowledge, the slides, everything was wonderful, wonderful. It was entirely a living session. I was totally on YouTube. I was seeing the chats and all that, and entire talk I had uh, heard. Nice, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Ajay, for coordinating and guiding me of understanding the platform also. Thank you so much.
It's my pleasure, sir.
Especially,
Thank you,
thank
sir.
you so much.
Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you.